Welcome to Council Connection. I'm Dean Brookie, Mayor and Durango City Councilor. This CitySpan program is designed to give you a snapshot of the happenings at the most recent Durango City Council meeting. This time, we look at the May 19th meeting. One of the first items on the agenda is the consent agenda, which is intended to allow City Council, by a single motion, to approve matters that are considered routine or non-controversial. There is usually no separate discussion of these items unless a council member or a citizen requests an item be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. Two items were removed from this consent agenda. The first dealt with the acquisition of a half-acre parcel of land near the end of 7th Street, just north of College Drive, for $25,000.
It's kind of a strategic acquisition that someday may bear fruit and help us with a number of things. It's on the hillside, it's a wooded hillside, but it has some commanding views of Parents Peak and downtown. It does not have legal access to it, but the parcel does sit up on the ridgetop.
The second item removed dealt with the allocation of almost $1 million by the city to fix the turf problem at the Smith Sports Complex at Fort Lewis College.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Kathy. So of the 900 and change, over 600,000 of that relates to the type of soil, including sand, that we should have used originally and therefore would have paid for it originally. We used a different type of soil that we had on hand, which clearly didn't work. We thought it would. We'd save us $600,000. It didn't. So now we're going back to using this different type of soil / sand, which we should have used in the first place. So of the 900,000 and change that we're paying additionally, 600 we should have paid anyway up front to use that type of soil and sand. Is that fair?
That is correct. We are totally changing the soil profile. The existing conditions on site that we did utilize for the project have not yielded results that are satisfactory. And so everything that the city is paying for in that $600,000 that you're referencing is related to a change of scope of work that was not in the original contract with the contractor.
Right, and that's why the city's paying over 9 and FCI is only paying $450. If you remove the soil that we should have bought in the first place out, FCI is actually paying more for the correction than we are.
That's correct. And the other thing that we note is that in addition to the soil improvement, we're also sodding the field, which was about $250,000 that was not in the original scope of work.
Right.
And we did mention the Fort Lewis College contribution, and the remainder would come from the city, and FCI is actually paying for a portion of that increased sod cost.
In public participation, Cindy Smart of the Durango Botanical Society updated council members on the status of the botanical garden behind the library, which has won the Colorado State Showcase Garden Award.
There were 110 competitors and we did win it, and so that kind of put Durango on the map, literally. You now see us on the map as a showcase garden. And this winter, we did some very major maintenance in the garden. We replaced and re-engineered the watering system, and we've put in all kinds of new mulches, and we prepared the garden for the next step. We are now a test garden for the state of Colorado. So we are testing plants that are xeric in nature from all over the world.
A sketch of future plans for the botanical garden was also shown. Council then heard from Carly Walker and 2 other mothers from Durango Moms Connections, a local moms meetup group. They urged the city to provide funds to reopen the Powerhouse Science Center and support it indefinitely.
As a mother of small children, I am deeply saddened and equal parts angry that the Powerhouse Science Center was forced to shut its doors. Our family, as well as the families in our group, have come to depend on the center for learning, socialization for both our young children and ourselves, a great place to go on rainy days, a wonderful place to host birthday parties, an educational school field trip, and so much more. There is nothing in Durango for young children and families to attend indoors that not only promote learning, but also allow children to play in an environment where everything is hands-on.
During reports and actions, Councilor Dick White noted that Durango High School has been named a school of opportunity, one of only 7 schools in the state to receive the honor from the National Education Policy Center at UC Boulder. Councilor Christina Rinderle discussed Senator Michael Bennett's work on the Marketplace Fairness Act, which would tax internet purchases. She also talked about efforts to allow municipalities to bring broadband internet to underserved areas. 2 of 3 legislative public hearings on this agenda were continued from May 5th, dealing with aggressive panhandling and regulating the use of medians. There was no new public testimony presented. It was proposed the city take a conservative approach by adopting an ordinance limited to 4 specific types of aggressive panhandling. It was also recommended that restrictions on lingering for solicitation purposes be placed on 6 medians.
After we, the staff, working with the police department, and consulting some experts in this area, determined that the best course of action would be, instead of trying to exclude certain medians, that we actually try to devise a list of the most troublesome medians that raise safety concerns, include those in the ordinance, and then if, again, we have other problem areas down the road, we can add to that. So it's an inclusionary process rather than an exclusionary process. And given that, the proposal is to include 6 medians at this point, or 6 named medians.
Those medians include Dominguez Drive outside Walmart, River Road outside Home Depot, College Drive west of Camino del Rio, medians near Santa Rita and State Road 3, and all medians near the Doubletree intersection of Highways 160 and 550. There were 3 quasi-judicial hearings on the agenda. More than 2 hours was spent on one of those, appealing a Planning Commission denial of a request for the vacation rentals in the Crimson Cliffs townhome area off Animas View Drive. Concerns were expressed about the impacts of vacation rentals on the neighborhood, parking availability, and more. Questions also arose surrounding the procedures of the Homeowners Association. In the end, councilors voted to overturn the Planning Commission denial of the city planning staff's recommendations approving the vacation rentals. Another item subject to a public hearing dealt with right-of-way abandonment, re-subdivision, and preliminary plan for 3 Springs, east of downtown Durango. During the meeting, Councilor Sweetie Marbury mentioned several upcoming library events. The Durango Library will be offering 2 summer reading programs. One of those, Every Hero Has a Story, is geared toward children up to age 12. The second reading program, entitled Unmask, is for youth 12 to 17 years old and will include a teen art contest. Both programs will also offer rewards for reading. You can get more details at the library. And that's Council Connection for the May 19th Durango City Council meeting. I'm City Councilor and Mayor Dean Brookie. Thanks for joining us, and remember, you can always contact your city councilors via email at citycouncil@durangogov.org.